Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Mary Lynn. I'm a field education trainer in the Vancouver area. And this morning, I'm super excited to be here with my co-worker, Oren. Good morning, Oren.
Good morning. Hi, everyone.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm super excited about this today. So everyone, today we're going to be talking about reverse balayage and a little bit of a root melt as well. So Oren, I'm going to leave it to you.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Hope you can see my mannequin. So today, this is my mannequin. So as you can see on this side, she's all blonde. And I'm going to show you a beautiful technique on how to make it into a reverse balayage.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Exciting.
So today I'm going to be using Koleston Perfect. And to start, we're going to start with the root, which we're going to blend it into everything else. And it's all done at the same step. There's no taking her to the sink, rinsing her out, or washing her, and then bringing her back. Everything's going to be done together.
That's amazing. This is exciting. Looking forward to seeing this, Oren.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I guess because now back at salons, we have a lot of clients maybe want to do something that's a little bit more easy and maintainable than getting their highlights done or coming back to the salon, right? Just in case.
Yes, of course. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining, welcome.
Hi, everyone. So as you can see, just right now, I'm just kind of doing the roots. And what I'm using is Koleston Perfect 6, 6-stroke 0, which is just nice and natural if we want to deepen the roots. You can obviously use any level you want, depending on your client's natural level, or if she wants to be a little bit deeper or lighter. That's up to you. Awesome. And because we're toning it, I've done 1-to-2 ratio with 10 volt. So I really want to deepen the roots and give it a nice contrast.
Awesome. Can you bring your camera down just a little bit more towards your mannequin, Oren?
Yeah.
The tiny bits can have a little bit of a clearer view. Guys, I just want to let you know as well while Oren is doing this, if there's any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. While Oren is doing her application, I'm here to take any questions and ask them as she's going. So please feel free to ask them as we go.
Yeah, so I like to start at the bottom. What I would do is, if I was doing a full head, I would do one side and then work my way to the other side, just so it's nice and clean and I don't lose my guide.
I'm assuming it also keeps the processing even too, right? When you're moving side to side.
Yes, exactly. Because you want things to kind of even out, especially when you're going darker. Sometimes with blondes or pre-lighted hair, it can just grab a little bit faster. And depending on the porosity of the hair, it can also grab a little bit deeper.
Awesome. What are other things that you would recommend to everyone watching to use Koleston Perfect for, Oren?
So you can use it for toning, which is what we're doing right now. You can use it for glossing, and that would be like at the sink if you want to kind of freshen up any like pre-lighter, which is like highlights, or just even deeper tones. You can use it for glossing, and that would be mixed with your post-treatment as well. You could also do it to rebuild, which you would mix with your Wellaplex.
Awesome.
So, and of course, it's for gray coverage as well, right?
Of course. So for some of you that may not know what our post-color service is, it's basically a conditioner. So when you're mixing it, a ratio of 1 part post-color to 1 part developer to 1 part color, Koleston Perfect. We recommend a pastel developer. And as well, our post-color service is also really good to even out porosity and level out the pH level during a color service.
Yeah, exactly. So once I'm done, once I get to the side, depending on what your client is looking for, you can leave the hairline out if they want a really nice, bold face framing. Or what I did on the other side, I just basically just tapped it very lightly just to give a bit of contrast, but that is obviously up to you and your client.
Yes, of course, you can totally customize it, right?
Exactly.
Excellent. Very nice. Now, would you use a comb to blend that in, or a brush is sufficient?
For this technique, I would personally just use my fingers to do the blending when I start adding the other tones in there, just because I don't want to bring the deeper level too far down and creating blotchiness, which can happen. So I would just use my finger, and you definitely want to make sure when you're using like a permanent color for your toning, you want to make sure that you're saturating your sections really nicely to create a little bit more like easiness to blend.
Excellent. Very nice.
Okay, so once you've done applying the roots, we're going to start in the back, and we're going to work, which is a lot more neater and cleaner. So I have a clip to kind of clip what I'm not working out of my way. And basically what the whole concept is to create these tones. You're just going to take triangles throughout the hair. And you can really do the technique however you want. So I have 3 tones with me, which I'm going to use my root, which is my 6-stroke 0 with 10 vol. Then I have a little bit lighter, which is my 8-stroke 9-7 with pastel. And then I have something that's a little bit more lighter, which is going to be my 10-stroke 1-6 with pastel. And that's just going to create beautiful dimensions and tones and contrast, which I personally like.
Yes.
And then, of course, around the front area, which when we get there, I'll talk about it again. I personally am just going to use mostly the 8 and the 10 to really brighten up around the face, because everyone wants that brightness in their face framing nowadays anyways.
Absolutely. And 8-9-7 and 10-1-6 are beautiful tones.
Beautiful tones.
Very excited to see this.
But of course, you guys can obviously use whatever you want. So my first section, I'm going to do it nice and deep. So I'm just going to do the 8-stroke 0. Sorry, the 6-stroke 0. And just kind of really blend it in there. And nice saturation because we're going deeper.
Yes. Now, if you were doing a glossing service or toning, would you generally do it on dry, or would you do it on towel dried hair?
So if I'm doing a glossing service, I would do it on pre-washed towel dry hair, just to kind of really gloss it in. And then you'll still have those dimensional tones naturally because it's a little bit more like damper to begin with.
Yes.
Because I want to go overall, we're going darker and deeper.
Yes.
I want to make sure it's nicely saturated on even dry hair, so everything is even.
Excellent.
So I have a towel attached to me just to wipe my hands because I don't want to mix the tones. And then I'm just going to put it there because we're going to make triangles throughout the hair with different tones, and we don't want to blend that either.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. For whom some of you who are just joining us, we are talking about reverse balayage today and a little bit of root melting as well, with our Koleston Perfect Color Touch, and we're going to have a little glimpse of Illumina today. So welcome if you're just joining us. If there's any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat at any point in time, and I'll be more than happy to ask the question for you.
Perfect, yeah. So you can definitely do the same technique with Color Touch as well, right?
Yes. And now on Color Touch, would you be using it on shampoo towel dried hair, or again on dry hair?
I personally would use it on dry hair if I was going a lot deeper, just because I really want to make sure that it's even throughout everywhere and I'm not like diluting it. But you definitely can use it on towel dry hair as well, as long as it's nicely saturated.
Amazing. So it's nice to have both options depending on what your end results, what you're wanting your end results to be.
Exactly.
Totally. I love Koleston Perfect. I'm sure you do too, Oren, because there's such a beautiful variety of tones and colors that you can do toning or coloring or glossing with. There's just, there's so many options.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think there's like about 140 tones.
That's right. There is.
So, I mean, definitely you have variety to do.
Yes, totally.
So right now I'm just kind of sectioning off the different tones that I'm doing, just because I don't want them to blend into each other, and I can keep track on what I've done in each section.
Awesome. Keep it nice and clean.
Nice and clean.
Amazing. Could you do this with a bottle application, Oren, as well?
Yeah, of course. It really depends on what your preference is and what you're comfortable with.
Totally.
I'm personally more clean with a brush and a bowl, unless I'm at the sink. I will use a application.
Absolutely. It's just nice. So if anybody prefers the bottle application is also an option for you.
Exactly. Like you just have to kind of make it your own and what you're comfortable with and everything like that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so when we get to the top section, that's the only time we do it slightly different. Obviously, depending on how you want your outlook to be. So this is my top section on the back.
Good morning, Nichelle.
Sorry?
Nichelle saying hi to everybody.
Oh,
Good
hi,
morning.
Michelle. Good morning.
Oren, can you turn your mannequin yes, perfect. So somebody's asking what colors are being used. So Oren, could you let us know again what colors you're using?
Yeah, so I'm using 3 different tones to really make dimension and contrast. So for my roots and for deepness, I'm using 6-stroke 0 with 10 volume, 1:2 mixing ratio. Then I'm also using my 8-stroke 9/7 with pastel, again 1:2 mixing ratio. And I'm also using 10-stroke 1/6 with pastel, 1:2 mixing ratio. And I'm kind of alternating between the 3 tones. And then in the front, I'm going to do mostly between the 8-stroke 9/7 and the 10-stroke 1/6 because I really want that lightness and that face framing in the front.
Amazing. And just to clarify, she is using Koleston Perfect color this morning?
Yes, and Koleston Perfect.
Awesome.
So when we come to the top section, what I personally like to do is kind of do a weave and kind of break the section up. That way it will kind of create a little bit more blending. Personally, I prefer.
And so you'll do one of the pieces 8-stroke 9/7 and then the other piece 10-stroke 1/6?
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
Beautiful. So it's a little bit softer as well.
Very nice.
So yeah, has anyone used any Koleston Perfect for toning before?
I use it all the time. So if anybody else has anything they can add in the chat, if they have used Koleston Perfect for glossing or toning, please give us your feedback. That'd be amazing to know how you feel about it and what you've liked about it. I use it a lot. I love using all 3 of our color lines for toning or glossing. I think there are benefits to all 3 of our color lines, definitely.
Exactly. There really is benefits for all of them, depending on what outlook you want and what you're trying to achieve.
Nichelle says she loves using it.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, there's a variety of colors that you'll find in your Koleston Perfect portfolio that maybe you won't find in your Illumina portfolio. Depending on, if you're doing some color correcting, maybe there's a little bit of colors in the Koleston Perfect that can really help. Nichelle says 8-stroke 9/6 she loves.
Yeah,
that's a great one. Totally. Amazing.
Okay, so I'm just going to move her because we're getting to the side.
Perfect. Yeah, we have another question. What tone would you use to get rid of brass in toning?
So that really depends on what like underlying pigment you're seeing. So like brass can be anywhere from reds and oranges.
Yeah,
So normally when you want to get rid of brass tones, you want to make sure that you've lifted her to at least a level 9 to 10 where you have the underlying pigment of a yellow or a pale yellow where you are able to really tone it to any tone you like, right?
absolutely.
Um, but definitely you want to use more like the ashier uh, tones. Even, I know we're going to talk about it a little bit later on in our live, Illumina, 'cause that's a great natural ash.
Absolutely, being a rosé violet base, Illumina is amazing. Also, if you are looking to remove some of those warm undertones using a permanent hair color for glossing or toning, um, there's a variety in all three of our color lines to use that. But there is a lot of different tones you can use to neutralize warm tones or brassy tones.
Exactly. And a great go-to is always just even look at your color wheel, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Good morning, Aluma. Thanks for joining this morning.
Good morning.
Now, a technique like this, Oren, how long would you say would take you?
So this could take anywhere. Obviously, it depends on the density and the thickness of someone's hair. But this should not take any longer, between 40 to 30 minutes max. It's a very fast, quick process, um, especially if you're just like, sections are nice and clean and lots of saturation. Um, it shouldn't take more than, I'd say, 30 minutes max. It takes me about anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how thick my client's hair is, right?
Amazing. And how long would you let this process for?
So I did this process for about 15 minutes. But I would also watch it just depending on someone's porosity. Obviously, that will grab a little bit quicker. So
Yeah.
I do want to watch it because it could be anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes.
And for some of you, and Oren, I'm sure you would recommend this as well, but for some of you, if you are dealing with porosity issues, Color Motion has an amazing spray to equalize and even out porosity in the hair prior to a color service like this. If you wanted to make sure that porosity didn't play too much of an issue in your color applications.
Exactly. And then once you're done to close it all, I would definitely use Color Motion shampoo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Good morning. So as you can see, once I'm kind of applying whichever toner, I'm kind of going back in just to put the 6 and just using my fingers nicely to blend that in where they will meet.
To have a nice blend.
To have a nice blend.
Beautiful. I don't know about any of you, but I'm like Oren. I like to use my fingers. I guess it's just part of being a hairstylist. Get in there and touch and feel.
Yes, I want to feel what I'm doing and really play with it.
Totally. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. More than happy to ask the questions for you. Looking forward to seeing the end result, Oren.
Yes, so the end result on the other side of her.
Yes, exciting. You're keeping it hidden. We can't see it.
Keeping it nice and hidden. It's a great, I love doing reverse balayages.
Yes, I'm like that too. Oh, we have another question. What was the form for the formula for the root?
So I just used Koleston Perfect 6-stroke 0 with 10 vol, 1 to 2. But obviously you can play with whatever tone you want to achieve, depending on, of course, your client's natural level, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, or you can even add a little tone in there, like a natural with another level, right?
With another target shade?
Yes, thank you, another target shade. I was like,
welcome. If there's any other questions, we're more than happy to answer them for you. The nice thing is, I'm assuming, you can kind of guide your depth, whether or not you want more depth, less depth at the root. It just depends on how you customize it for each and every one of your clients.
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing is customized, right? Like,
Absolutely.
even with where you place the different levels throughout the head, it's really up to you how much lightness or darkness or contrast you and your client want to achieve or see.
Totally. And in this case, it's kind of nice that you left the little bit of the lighter pieces at the front to kind of give that face framing. Everybody's really loving that face framing right now.
Yeah, face framing is really huge right now, I find. So why not? Let's just keep that, right?
Why not? Exactly. Maximize of the beautiful summer we've got.
Exactly.
Amazing. What else would you use Color Touch for if you were using Color Touch? What else can we be using Color Touch for?
You can definitely use it for clients who aren't ready to move to permanent. So you can do with gray blending, anywhere from 50 to 70%. You can also do it for root melting, contrast, and between highlight. I like to use it for.
Absolutely. So it's kind of nice to be able to do this technique or other techniques with Color Touch as well, right?
Exactly.
Maybe in Oren, I'm assuming you feel the same way, but maybe for people who are having maybe a little bit of a more of a porosity issue, Color Touch could also be really amazing for this technique.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, not go so dark or kind of control it a little better because of the demi versus the permanent. But there are definitely benefits to both color lines depending on the client's hair, of course.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
Definitely agree with that.
Awesome.
So I'm at my last section, and to kind of do like a slightly weave. You could do a bigger weave or a thinner weave, really depending on what you want to see or achieve. And what's really nice about using different tones, you can kind of see, obviously, when colors oxidize, it starts to slightly change, which is nice to see where you've placed what.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, so that didn't take too long, I hope. It's a fairly quick process.
Yeah, it's a very good, easy option to do in the salon for people who are looking to kind of do the reverse balayage or just kind of add a little bit of a root melt to being a little bit blonder. Somebody's saying they can't wait to see the final product.
Yeah,
I know. She's hiding it from us, everyone. It's coming.
Okay, so I'm going to taking my gloves off.
Exciting.
Okay, so
all right.
See just the different lines and tones. You can really see what you've used where. So it's really easy to see what tone and level you've used, and you don't get confused.
Yes. Would you be shampooing this out or just rinsing and post color when you're removing it?
I would personally shampoo it, but I would use Color Motion shampoo and then post treatment after. And if the hair is very dry or just needs a little bit more moisture, I would go in with Color Motion conditioner just to seal that all in.
Amazing. Excellent. The big reveal.
The big reveal. The year after.
Ooh, beautiful. Look at all those dimensions in there.
Dimensions and tones, and the front is a little bit more face framing and lightness.
Beautiful. That nice depth at the root. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Thank you. So that's
gorgeous.
Quick and easy toning process you can do for your clients.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right, so I have done also a mannequin. She's already pre-done. I just wanted to showcase a little bit of Nichelle and Zena, and everyone says beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
So I just wanted to show you guys quickly also, when you're using Illumina, I also really like using Illumina because I find with the translucent technology behind the color, it's amazing to do a soft, a little bit less contrasting than Color Touch if you're looking for a little softer, something not as, like I said, high contrast. You can do a root melt, you can do reverse balayage. Love the shine too with Illumina. So I'm just going to show you guys the mannequin I did today. And I'm just going to adjust it here. Sorry, everyone. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so what I did today is, can you guys see? Is it too, am I too high, Oren?
No, that's perfect.
No,
Really see all the
awesome. Somebody said that you made that look so easy, Oren. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. It's obvious how passionate you are.
Oh, thank you. So
She
funny.
is very passionate, guys. So yeah, so I just wanted to showcase a little bit of Illumina today as well, just to show you guys that you can totally do some beautiful soft root melts or, you know, reverse balayage with your Illumina colors. So here I used level 8, half 8 and half 9 at the root with my pastel developer, a 1:2 mixing ratio. Actually at the root, sorry, I did a 1:1. And then I toned with a level 10, half 10, half 9 for the ends. So I did 9-stroke 03 with 10-stroke 05 on the ends. And so what I did first is I applied my root and I took a comb to kind of blend it a little bit, make sure I had a beautiful soft mixture. And then once I was done applying my roots, I went ahead and blended the ends on a pre-shampooed towel dried hair. And I did the same thing as Oren. I mixed it with my fingers to make sure I had a good blend between the two. I let it process for about 15 minutes on the ends. And so the roots probably got about 10 to 15 minutes ahead. And then I just gave it a light shampoo and a post-color treatment. So it's just to show you guys the beautiful softness that you can get out of Illumina if you're not looking for something maybe as saturated. You could totally make the roots, you know, darker with Illumina. I just wanted more of a soft, summery kind of color. But it's great if you still want to be quite blonde, but just don't want it to be too blonde at the root and a little softer. Thank you, Zena. So for everyone, this was just to show you guys.
Lots of shiny, especially for microlight technology, right? That's what keeps it
amazing.
Shiny.
Yeah, it's super, super shiny. And again, being the rose violet base. So for, you know, the question we had a little earlier, you could still make some beautiful buttery tones if you wanted to with Illumina. But you can also tone a lot of and neutralize a lot of those warm tones that we don't want. So what color did you use? So on the root, I did 1 part 8-stroke 6-9 with 1 part 9-stroke 03 with my pastel developer, just to add a little bit of that depth at the root. And then from the mid shaft to ends, I did 1 part 9-stroke 03 to 1 part 10-stroke 05 with a 1.9% pastel. And in total, about 10 to 15 minutes on the root, and then another 10 to 15 minutes on the end.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. If there's any other questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Lauren and I would be more than happy to answer them for you.
Yes.
Amazing. Awesome. All right. I don't see any other questions here. I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone for joining us this morning. I wanted to say thank you to Oren for coming on with me today.
Thank you.
Of course, it's always great to work with you. And if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to us at any time, and we're more than happy to answer your questions. Awesome.
Thank everyone for joining.
Yes, thank you again. Your mannequin was beautiful. Loved your technique. And we'll see you guys all soon. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.